So thank you so much for taking this time to talk to us.
Okay.
We just have a few questions about, the upcoming series and your selection in the squad. So first off, we just wanted to ask, being player of the final and obviously the highest wicket taker of the series in the WBBL, did the loss in WBBL 1 motivate you this season?
Yeah, it did. I mean, we were, I guess in a way we were lucky to make that final considering the start we had. I mean, we lost 6 or 7 games sort of on the trot, and then, we all sort of eventually came together and got to that final. So, we obviously wanted to, seeing as we were there, we wanted to make sure that we put our best performance on the board, and unfortunately that didn't happen. So, WBBL 02 was all about making sure that we, I guess, righted those wrongs from the previous years and make sure that we all put our best foot forward, and we all trained really hard, leading up to that final and throughout the season. So, I think it was, it was definitely something that we wanted to do. It wasn't so much about, I guess, getting revenge or anything like that. It was more just making sure that we played the best possible cricket that we could, and we knew that if we did that, then we'd go a long way in that tournament.
Hi Sarah, this is Sam here. With your great form in WBBL 2, how long do you think you're a chance for Australian selection?
Look, I mean, I'm just sort of, I guess, taking it all in and soaking it all up at the moment. There's so many great players in this squad, and it's going to be a pretty tough job for the selectors to pick a final 11 sort of come tomorrow and Sunday, and obviously the game in Adelaide as well. So I mean, I'm just sort of taking it each day as it comes, and just obviously trying to do what I can to help my cause, but mostly sort of help the team. So, we'll see what happens, obviously. And there's a lot of players in this squad that are in good form. So, hopefully I can, if given the chance, I can translate my form from this season, onto the international stage.
Hi, Sarah. This is Dan here. Elisa Healy said you were one of the most unlucky players in the country to not get a call-up for Australia. Did the call-up to the squad feel really special considering your age and the fact you've had to wait so long?
Look, I guess for me it wasn't so much, having to wait for it. I guess, the opportunities have been there for me in the past, and I probably didn't take them. So I guess now that I suppose it's probably an advantage for me being a little bit older and having more experience, because I guess now I probably feel like I'm a little bit more ready and more prepared, if I do get the call-up. So, I mean, I guess you could say that I was unlucky, but I suppose, I'm looking at it as sort of coming through. There's been so many great players that have played for Australia, and it's sort of not so much about being unlucky. I think it's more that, there were better players ahead of me, and sort of now that, I've had that time and experience playing at the national level or the state level, it's sort of finally come around, and I guess things have clicked in a way, because I've had a lot of chance to, within the New South Wales setup, play with, some fantastic cricketers. So to be able to, I guess, learn off them and bounce off them and be around them sort of year in, year out has obviously helped to lead to this stage.
Hey Sarah, Ben here. What has the preparation for the series against the White Ferns been like for you and the squad in general?
I guess there sort of hasn't been a lot of time since the BBL finished up, and obviously some finished before others, so they've had sort of a bit of a chance to kind of focus on themselves for a little bit, which has probably been really good for them. And for us, we came together on Monday as a squad, and we've had we would have had a couple of training sessions leading in, and there was also a training camp up in Brisbane the week leading into coming together here today, on Monday, sorry. So yeah, we're sort of just, I guess, final preparations, getting ready, making sure everybody's in some good touch and, bowling enough balls and hitting enough balls for the batters, and, we'll sort of put into place some plans, in our team meetings and things like that to make sure that we're ready to go come Friday.
So, Sarah, you play 3 T20s and 3 ODIs against New Zealand. How confident do you think you are going into the series?
Yeah, I think we're all pretty confident. I mean, there's, like I said before, a lot of the squad are in really good form coming off the BBL. So, one of the great things about BBL is that we've been able to play against some of those White Ferns players that will be coming up against, throughout that BBL. So it kind of gives us a little bit of an advantage in that way. But, I know in T20 cricket, the White Ferns have probably had the edge over the Southern Stars for the past couple of years. So it's obviously, we want to make sure that we're all really prepared and ready to go for this series, because obviously, there's a World Cup coming up in June, so we want to make sure that we're getting the best preparation for that as well, and these games are definitely going to help towards that.
Yeah, for sure. And just as a final question, just wanted to ask, with Cricket Australia being one of the pioneers of creating equal opportunities for female athletes, and also with the massive launch of the AFLW and the upcoming new netball league this weekend, do you think we are entering a new and exciting time for women in sport?
Oh, we definitely are. I think it's been fantastic, the amount of the amount of publicity that all the new codes that are coming out have sort of happened in the media and all that sort of stuff. So it's great to see that that women and athletes are getting that recognition in the media, and you could see from the crowd that came out that first game in Melbourne for the women's AFL, and it was spectacular, and it's really great to see that the public are really getting behind it as well. And I think the more that it is in the media, the more the public is going to get behind it, and I think it's really exciting times for women in sport, but also for the young girls that are coming through playing. It could be netball, it could be football, it could be AFL or cricket. Those young girls that are coming through can actually see that there's something that they can strive towards and something that they can achieve. That they could potentially, when they get older, become a professional athlete.
You can catch the Southern Stars at the 17th of February at the MCG, 19th of February at Cardinia Park, and 22nd February at Adelaide Oval. Thank you so much for joining us, Sarah, and best of luck in selection.
No worries, thank you for having me.